All right, welcome back. A Department of Homeland Security official has resigned over past controversial comments he made on the radio about Black and Muslim communities. The comments go back nearly a decade. Reverend Jamie Johnson's resignation as director of the DHS Center for Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnership comes after a CNN K-File investigation into his time as a conservative talk radio host. K-File reporter Nathan McDermott co-authored the report and joins me now. Nathan, good to see you. So let's first listen to some of what Johnson has said.
A lot of blacks are anti-Semitic. Why?
I think one of the reasons why is because Jewish people, from their coming to America in great waves in the early part of the 1800s, immediately rolled up their sleeves and began to work so hard. And it's an indictment of America's black community that has turned America's major cities into slums because of laziness, drug use, and sexual promiscuity.
All right, so what is behind, this tape, this interview, these comments from him, and, how did this lead to his resignation? I mean, kind of obvious reasons, but how did it all? And what's the sequence of events?
Well, that's the thing. Reverend Johnson didn't make just that one comment we listened to. He has been on the radio for nearly a decade, and he made similar comments about various minority groups over the years. So that makes it pretty difficult for him to argue that this was just a one-off comment, because it was kind of pretty central to his entire radio persona. And so my team and I, we worked together and dug through various archives and listened to several hours of his interviews. And after we requested for a comment, pretty soon thereafter, he resigned later that afternoon after the story was published.
And that's really just the tip of the iceberg, right, Nathan? I mean, there's more. He had disparaging things about the Islamic faith also while racing a radio show. Let's listen.
I agree with Dinesh D'Souza, your friend and mine, who says really all that Islam has ever given us is oil and dead bodies over the last millennia and a half. And they are not our friends. They are not our friends.
So no one knew about this before his post?
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of hard to imagine that they didn't. Once we asked for the White House's comment and for DHS's comment, they didn't exactly embrace what he said, though they did point to his radio career as a reason why they hired him in the first place. But like I said, these comments were pretty par for the course for what he said on the radio. So again, I don't want to say what they knew and what they didn't know, but it was pretty central to, it wasn't an unusual thing for him to say. Yeah,
so reminder, he was the director of the Center for Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnership. So after you kind of, let everybody know about all of this, he resigned within 24 hours of that published K-File investigation, and he did apologize, and I'm going to read it. I regret the manner in which those thoughts were expressed in the past, but can say unequivocally that they do not represent my views personally or professionally. Help us understand that apology.
Well, again, it's sort of, I don't want to say whether it's genuine or disingenuine, but the fact is he made these comments as recently as last year. So this wasn't, again, a one-off thing. He said it for over a decade. Now he's arguing that once he got to the White House and once he joined this position, he became a bit more open-minded and he distanced himself from those past views. But again, the apology doesn't make too much sense when you consider all of his facts that all of this stuff that he said in the past.
Yeah, operative words. I regret the manner in which those thoughts were expressed. I mean, there's no. It's almost as if the apology has a lot more to do with the forum in which those thoughts were expressed as opposed to the thoughts themselves. All right, Nathan McDermott, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so much more in the newsroom straight ahead. But first, when Justin Salas lost his sight as a teenager, he found rock climbing